Hi all. In this video, we are going to see about the static NAT configuration. So in order to do a static NAT, I would like to select two routers and let me take two switches and also two PCs, and let us select one server. So let us connect it. Okay. So here is the network topology, and I wish to have this side of the network. This is a network, and let us have, say, this network is having a private IP of range 192.168.1.0/24, and it is given with a public IP of 100.10.0.0/24, right? Or is given with the public IP 1 and 100.0.0.2. So there are two public IPs available for this particular network, right? And again, I have another network this side, say network 2, and I am assigning again the private IPs can be reused. So I wish to reuse this IP dot 1.0/24, and the public IPs are 50.0.0.1 and 50.0.0.2, right? There are two public IPs acquired by this network, and there is one more network available, which is maybe we can call it as an internet. And I have a server hosted on that network. And let's say that network is having an IP of 90.0.0.2 is the IP address, /24 is the IP address of that server, right? So first let us do the IP configuration. Okay, so starting from this computer, go to the desktop, IP configuration 192.168.1.2, 192.168.1.1. So I just close this, and coming on here, I wish to have this as 192.168.1.3, 192.168.1.1, right? And just close it. And we'll do the configuration of this router. So I say no, and en config t interface FA 0/0 and IP address 192.168.1.1, 255.255.255.0. So we are going to make this router a NAT enabled router. So we should give IP NAT inside because it is going to be in the inside part of the network. So I say inside and give an exit. Then let's say interface SC 2/0. So I wish to give an address 200.0.0.1 with a mask of class C, right? And there is a clock symbol, so we'll give a clock rate. And also this is going to be IP NAT outside. Okay, so this NAT router's outside interface, and give a no shut. So the IP configuration of this router is done. So I'll come to this router, and here in this router, let me say there are three interfaces. So I just give a no, en, config t interface FA 0/0, IP address 192.168.1.1, 255.255.255.0, right? And then I say this is IP NAT inside and give a no shut. Similarly, interface SC2/0 IP address 200.0.0.2 255.255.255.0 IP NAT outside and give a no shut. So then there is one more interface 1/0. So I just give IP address 50. It's 90 dot. So I say IP address 90.0.0.1 255.255.255.0 and also put it as no shut. That's a public network, right? And we'll come to this server and also assign an IP address to this server. We'll come to the CLI part of the server. Desktop IP. Here we'll give 90.0.0.2 and it is 255.255.255.0 and I say 90.0.0.1 is your default gateway, right? So the IP configuration and the initial configuration is done. So this port, we'll put this port up. So the IP configuration, everything is done. Now we are going to configure static NAT. So how to do the static now NAT is, we say that the public IP given is 100.1. So here we'll come to the router. So we'll in the configuration mode, we'll say IP NAT inside. If any inside source static, right? And I give 192.168.1.2. If any packet comes with 1.2, you translate into 100.0.0.1, right? Or I say 100.0.0.2. Then I say that any packets that comes with 3, okay, then you translate to .1. Okay, so this is the configuration that I've given. And again, to this router, we'll just go and give exit IP NAT inside. That is 50 dot. The public IP given there is 50 dot. So IP NAT inside source static, right? And 192.168.1.2 is 50.0.0.2. Then I give 1.3 is 50.0.0.1. Okay, now this is done. Okay, now if you check the routing table of this router, by default 192.168.200 and 192 is there, but the public IP given was 50 dot here and the public IP given here was 100 dot. So we have to configure routing so that this networks are reachable. So what I'm going to do is I'll just go to the router and we are going to configure a static route. So I say IP route 50.0.0.0 with 255.255.255.0. So you just give it to, right, any packet destined for 50 dot, you should give it to this interface. So what is that interface IP? It is 200.0.0.2. Similarly for the 90 also. There is one more network called 90 network. So for these both, you have to give the packet to the next hop. What is the next hop? 200.0.0.2. So we'll do that configuration and just come down and I say IP route 50.0. right? And 200.0.0.2, the next hop. Similarly, IP route the 90 network also. If the 90 network 200.2, right? And here also we have to do the routing, right? And I say IP route 100.0.0.0 with 255.255.255.0. Give it to 200 1, the next hop. All right. So if you want to go to that network, you just give it to 1, right? So the IP configuration, everything is done. So we'll try to ping out to the external server and find out how the translation is done. So we'll go to this router, this PC, and just I click the web server, web browser, and I have just I'm typing 90.0.0.2, and I was able to get the web page. But internally, what has happened? This web page packets, how it is carried out, we'll see what sort of translations have been taken place here. So this is a router, and the command that is used to check out your translation is show IP NAT translations. So you see that the translation has taken this way, that 100.2, it is actually 192, inside local is 192.161.2. It has been translated to 100.2 and 90.0.0.2, and outside global is also 90.0.0.2. And now if suppose we just give it from the other PC1, go to the browser and just go to the browser and give 90.0.0.2. Yes, it's visible. But when we come to the routers and click on the router and check for its translation, you could see that, yes, a new translation is also reported. Now, if you just come here to this PC and go to the PC's web browser, and just go to this web browser and give 90.0.0.2, 90.0.0.2. Yeah, we were able to get it. So we'll open this, check the IP is configured. And once the IP is configured, we go to the web browser and just give 90.0.0.2. We're able to get the browser and go to the router, and let's see how it is translated. So we could see that the same IP is reused here, but with a different translation. So just give an exit and give show IP NAT translations. Yes, so the NAT translation is shown here inside global. Yes, it is translated. So 50.2 is translated into 1.2.